Hey guys, what's up? I just got back from a 500-day road trip. I didn't spend a single penny to stay anywhere. I'm going to tell you how to do it. I'm going to tell you how to travel cheap, and hopefully you'll get to see our beautiful country, because not enough people do. Free places to stay. You got Walmart, rest areas, national forests, BLM land, Bureau of Land Management, occasionally national parks. Don't rely on that because it's usually pretty expensive. At Acadia, I think it's somewhere around like 30 bucks a night. Another good option is freecampgrounds.net or .com. I'll leave a link in the description. Little hidden camp areas. Usually a 14-day limit, not always. Same with National Forest, that's usually a 14-day limit. Sometimes 7, depending on the area. Truck stops, another great option. Number 1, Walmart. You're going to want to go to allstays.com. That's going to give you a comprehensive review of all the Walmarts in the area. You click on whichever one's closest to you. It'll tell you if you're allowed to stay there for the night or not. Always a good idea to call. I didn't call once the entire time I was there. Keep in mind I was sleeping in a car, so it's not a huge RV or van or whatever you're traveling in. Make sure they're in a good area. Albuquerque, New Mexico, not the best place to stay in a Walmart. There was a shootout at the one I was at. Not the greatest feeling being in the middle of that, and then I just stayed there and slept anyway, because there's a few places in America you don't want to be. Yeah. National forests. Now, national forests are typically free. Sometimes there's an entrance fee, very, very rarely. They usually have their own campsites, but you don't want to go to those. Those are the paid campsites. They're always cheaper than the national park, but National Forest has what's called dispersed camping. Now, they have this, and the Bureau of Land Management has this. This is basically boondocking, where you just go down a road and pull off. It has to be a pre-made pull-off. You can't just like pull off into the woods and do your own thing. You have to stay on the road, because if you start messing this up, they're not going to allow it anymore. And if that happened, I wouldn't have been able to go on my trip, and future, like your kids won't be able to do this either. So please just have a little bit of respect. That goes for Walmart too. Don't go to Walmart and just start partying it up and being an asshole. Rest areas are a good one. Technically, there's always a no camping sign. Obviously, don't set up a tent. Don't be an idiot. But if you just want to park your car there, they typically have like 8-hour limits, but I've seen a few with like even 48-hour limits and 24-hour limits. And I've slept at ones that have 1-hour limits, but that was because I was driving around looking for a place that I could just stay. That was around Washington, if I remember correctly. It was like right around Seattle. And I just stayed because I was like, I'm exhausted and I'm going to crash my car otherwise. Not a single cop bothered me on my trip, and I stayed at rest areas a good amount. Obviously, it's not encouraged, but it's a lot safer for me to pull off than to drive and get in a car accident. So obviously, if a cop does ask you, what are you doing here? Just say, oh, I'm really tired. $3 a day. How to live on it. Ramen's your new best friend. Make sure you invest. You're going to want to get an $8 coffee maker at Walmart. Okay, this is very important. An $8 coffee maker at Walmart is going to give you the ability to make hot water at rest areas, at public bathrooms, pretty much anywhere that has an outlet. You can just plug right in. Nobody bothered me. Even national parks have outlets. You're not allowed to use them, but nobody told me I couldn't. Usually a little gross, because a few outlets were like right next to a urinal, and you'll have like a guy urinating about maybe 6 inches away from where you're boiling water. So, I mean, you do what you gotta do. Rice is really good. And life is contrast. If you're eating steaks and shit, and then hiking every day, and seeing what you see, it's great. But if you're starving every day, and like you're sleeping in your car, like my car, I couldn't even recline all the way back because I had too much stuff. And so I could just kind of go back like this, and then I would sleep like that every night. It takes a toll, but it also makes those moments of like you summiting a mountain just that much more, just, oh, like there's nothing like it, because you just feel empowered, because you know that like you've been roughing it out for like this long, and like nobody gets to see all that you're seeing right now, and it's just, I can't recommend it enough. Rough it, just rough it. This is a national park pass and a public lands pass. This is $80 for a year. It'll get you entrance into every national park, national forests, BLM land, anything that charges a fee to get in. You're good. I mean, it doesn't cover guided tours, so if it's any cave, chances are you're going to pay $15 for a tour no matter where you are, except Carlsbad Caverns in Texas, where you get to just go do your own thing, and that's my favorite cave in America and my favorite cave I've ever been in ever. Just absolutely gorgeous. Can't recommend them enough. It's going to charge your devices. It plugs right into your 12 volt. You can charge your camera battery, your laptops, your phone. It doesn't have to be this one. It can be any of them. I think I went through three different ones. More important than any material possession you own for this road trip, if you're boondocking and going out on these roads, these are not good roads. I have a Jeep, I won't get stuck, and then they get stuck. If you're not on pavement, if you're on a dirt road and it's not on pavement, AAA won't come get you. It's gonna cost anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 to get towed out of wherever you are. This is $16. You know how much weight it pulls, and make sure that your car is obviously less than that. Throw it with your spare tire. And on that note, know how to change your spare tire. I went through 6 tires on my trip, just from flats. Just from wear, I went through 12 tires. Know how to change your flat. You're gonna be in the middle of nowhere and there's gonna be no one around, and you don't want to fuck up in the middle of nowhere and be stuck and stranded. Just don't, because then it can literally turn into a survival situation. Just don't be an idiot, please. Don't rush. Stay a few days. Do like one big hike a day. Or don't do anything a day and just hang out by the river, talk to people, talk to strangers. That's my number one thing. Because people have these amazing stories that you would never know unless you just go and talk to them. And more often than not, people are pretty open to talk to you about really anything. I mean, I talk to politicians, I talk to a few millionaires, I talk to a lot of homeless people, I talk to a lot of travelers, anyone and everyone, especially at national parks, because it's just like this beautiful coming together of all walks of life, and it's just an experience that you won't ever forget, and you'll learn things about yourself, you'll learn things about other people, it'll give you perspective. Sometimes you get strangers that offer you a place to stay. You haven't had a shower in 2 months, the dirt is so packed on your skin that you end up rubbing it off and layers of skin start coming off, and it feels better than sex, okay? Your endorphins go through the roof. I met a girl on Tinder. I was in Canada. And I hadn't had a shower at that point in I think about a month and a half. And I was moaning in the shower. She's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yes." It was so good. That's another thing, showers. Alright, water bottle shower. Or you can do what's a lot more fun, or it sounds a lot more fun, is waterfall showers. So rest areas, a fair amount of them on the East Coast, and a lot of the Love's travel stops. That's another place you can stay overnight. Truck stops are usually pretty decent. You can pay to shower. I think it's like $5. I didn't pay it because I'm a cheap bastard. You go in a river or a waterfall, but keep in mind the time of year it is.
Fuck me! Fucking cold! I love it!
Why didn't you shower for 2 months? It's like I did, but glacial water in the winter, being naked outside with wind is not fun. Everyone has this romantic notion of, I'm gonna go to a waterfall and shower. It's like, yeah, but it's really not that fun. It sucks, to be completely honest. Now, you're gonna want to keep a journal. I went through 4 journals. Journals are very, very important. You're gonna look back. Yes, I have the handwriting of a 2-year-old, but when you get back home, even the second you get back home, if it's a few months trip, you can start reading back what you were feeling that day and just what happened. You don't want to get the habit of capturing everything. It's a fine line between experience and capturing a moment. You just got to be in the moment. You got to live it, you got to be it. And because when you look back and it's like, oh, look at all these great photos, but it's like, oh yeah, but I didn't do this or that. You'll know what I mean. You'll get the sense.